Tamor is a first-time caller out of Virginia. Tamor, thank you for calling. You're on the air.
How you doing, Jesse?
All is well, sir. How are you?
Good. So I had a story that I want to tell you about, and it's about my coming out of my fallen state
Yes.
recently.
Okay.
So I grew up with my mom and my dad, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my mom grew up in New York, and she has like some serious daddy issues. She was born out of wedlock. Basically, it's a long story. Anyway, so when I was young, because I'm 16, when I was young, they always used to fight, right? And get into some serious fights, when I was just a really young kid.
How old are you now?
That stuff, I'm 16.
Okay, go ahead.
So that kind of stuff would stick in my head, right? And when my mom and my dad got divorced in second grade, she would tell me that she would tell me that my dad didn't pay any bills, and she would trash his image in front of me. And sometimes it made me look at my dad differently.
Yeah.
But growing up, basically my dad, moved on. They don't live with each other, and my dad got remarried. Anyway, so growing up, I was with my mom, and she's a lawyer, liberal. She's a very angry person, very, very, very angry. She's just like very, she's not a strong person. She's always playing victim. She's always acting like, she has it terrible and stuff like that. And basically, all that stuff, when she was complaining, it would kind of do something to me, I actually felt sympathy for her. And then going on, just being around her weak character, it kind of, affected me in some way.
Yes.
It kind of made me more, violent, more upset, more angry, more disrespectful. I started to do things that I never thought I would do that I knew were wrong, but, there's some things that I wanted, growing up, stuff like that. So you have to, kind of do anything you want to do. Basically, so after that, we got into some more arguments, and she got a boyfriend in 2016, right? And he's an immigrant out of Puerto Rico, right? Same thing, born out of wedlock. He didn't know his dad. So he came to the house, and, there was something wrong with me. My character was destroyed. I had a lot of things I was going through. I'm not trying to say what I did was right, but I was, in a bad place back then. So he would come there, and he'd try to boss me around, do pretty weird things, act different, be, overprotective on my mother. And, she, when she gets, a man or somebody bigger than her in authority,
yeah,
she kind of just folds, and she doesn't be the same loving character she is. She has a filter on now. I guess you could say that she's supposed to, because the man is the head of the wife, but it's the way she talked to me, the way she treated me. It was kind of it wasn't the same.
Right.
So basically, what happened was we got in more arguments. These tensions keep going. They ended up removing me from the house, and outside's probably the best thing that's ever happened in my life, being removed from the house. Because also, so I basically moved with my dad, right? And, over the months, I was still in my bad stages. I would get really emotional and cry when I'm angry and stuff like that, stuff that I hate. It's not what men do. I would, ended up being more destructive and, talking disrespectful to my friends, having this nasty tone. But after last year, 2018, I started to become more aware, and my character started to change. The stuff that I used to do, I can't imagine doing it anymore. I've stayed down. Since my dad is being around, my dad is an immigrant from Sudan, but he got his citizenship when he was really young, and he's worked very hard to get where he's at. So he's a strong character that I respect so much. Is his story, coming from Sudan, getting his visa, becoming a citizen, working hard. He worked 3 jobs growing up. So when I would come back, she would try to force me to watch Dr. Umar Johnson. So she would send me his videos, and then she would tell me to watch every single hour of it. It was a 1 hour and 30-minute video. So I'd watch it, right? No, I wouldn't watch it, basically. So she would try to tell me to watch it and then ask questions about it, and I was just not down with that. And then they praised Dr. Umar like he's some kind of, like he's Jesus. She takes pictures with him. She claims she has his number. They think everything he said is a word. And that's probably why she's so destructive and boring. And they also are like Obama, they love Obama so much. My dad, they have this Obama opinion when he first won the election. They praised him so highly. My grandma wanted me to sell these ugly ass Obama t-shirts. Oh, my bad, I didn't curse.
Yeah.
My grandma wanted me to sell these Obama t-shirts, and it had a Big Mama and the Fallen Messiah on the back of it. It was like, I'm Obama for Obama. A bunch of, disgusting stuff like that. And,
Umar Johnson is an evil man.
Yeah, I know.
He's not a good person at all.
Yeah, she worships him. She took a picture with him and all that other stuff, and that's probably why it's making her, so angry. So they also worship Obama. And finally, coming out of my fallen state, when I told her dad, basically I told him that I was supporting Donald Trump, right? And I've never seen a mad black person that mad ever in my life. He started cursing at me. He's like screaming. He's like, I can't believe it. And then he's like, I can't believe this. And he's like, are you an Uncle Tom? And he's very violent because I sent him videos of this Trump supporter getting stuffed on his face. And he was like, I condone anybody effing up Uncle Tom. I'm like, dang, like you have no respect that you want to fight somebody for wearing a Trump hat. So anyway, that's what I was saying is he got so angry at me and for no reason, just because I said I supported Donald Trump.
Amazing.
So he's crying and he's trying to say I'm a white supremacist and stuff like that. And he says they're taking me to a white nationalist rally. He's like I'm going to take, because I live near D.C. He's like, I'm going to take you to the Trump rally when it comes back. And I said, watch them. They're going to beat you up to a pulp. And I said, all right, yeah, sure. So he's very angry at me because I support Trump. He calls everybody who supports Trump an Uncle Tom, the typical black rhetoric, coon, Uncle Tom, Uncle Ruckus. So they go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And they have nothing constructive to say. And I try to tell him the truth. And when I text him about it, he goes silent. He never says anything back to me. He just hush modes. So I can never really get the true message to them. They're so angry. Yeah. And that's probably why, I separate myself from that. Me, my dad is corrupt. My dad sits there and he watches CNN and MSNBC all day. I try to tell him, but he's in too deep.
This is an amazing story.
I'm basically the only conservative in my family. I live with a bunch of liberals. Everybody in my family's a liberal. They all claim, and my grandma has this hat with Obama on it.
Hold on, Tamor. Hold on. I got to take a break. Based on everything you said and being 16 years old, I have the utmost respect for you, man. To be able to stand up for truth, to stand against your family like that, and then to come out of that fallen state. You are on your way to having, as a son of God, your mind cannot conceive the life that you're on your way to having. And you're going to have many challenges, but because you're out of that fallen state, it's going to only make you better and not bitter. It's not going to hurt you on the inside. It's just going to make you stronger. So stay away from anger, speak up, don't resent, and it's just going to be amazing.
I have one more question. It's quick, though.
Yes.
Thank you, though.
Okay.
How do I successfully try to talk to blacks and help them drive them out of their anger and their hatefulness, because it makes me sick?
Do what you're doing by becoming a living example of it, and someone will see it in you, and they're going to want to know how did you become that way. You'll be able to tell them. And then speak up, but don't take it personally when they get angry at you, because it's not you, it's them. They can't help it. They hate their parents, especially mothers. And so be honest with them, but do not be angry at them. They literally cannot help it.
Okay, I appreciate it, JC. Have a good day.
So, Tamor, your father and mother are black, is that right?
Yes, they're both black.
You are an amazing guy, man. At 16, you have no idea the trouble that you have avoided by waking up at such an early age.
I appreciate it, Jesse.
Okay. It's an honor to hear from you. Thank you for calling me.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too, buddy. Amazing. Isn't that amazing? Yes. Joel, you were saying that at a young age you knew the truth too, but you had no one to validate it for you.
Right. Saying I'm over here thinking I'm crazy, and I had a little sense.
I know. At an early age, most kids are common sense kids when they're very young, but their parents are so messed up, and so the parents make the kids doubt themselves.
And it's crazy he didn't follow along with what his whole family was saying. He had his own mind, which is crazy to hear.
And he's fighting with step parents and everybody. Amazing. And he's so clear as to what he sees.
Right.
That's mind-blowing. I need you all to subscribe, support us on Patreon, like us on Facebook, and follow me on Twitter.
Got it.